going to absolutely hate it when you put a heck ton of your time of the short life developing a piece of art, and now you have to pay a handsome amount of money to host it, allowing other people like your mom or recruiter to appreciate the work. But the thing is that you don't necessarily want to pay that hefty sum for a showpiece, as it generates no money in return. Or is it maybe that all you've got in your pocket is a pair of dead mice? If any of this sounds relatable, then don't worry my friend, I'm here to help. At least Wurzel is. The deployment process is separated into several steps which are easy to follow for anyone. This might be the easiest step. Open the terminal, write npm install course, and then click enter, and our cross-origin middleware will be installed. Open your GitHub account, click on this fancy icon, and then new repository. Give it an appropriate name, select it to public, and down here, create repository.
A few minutes later,
our GitHub repository is successfully created, and inside your project directory you have to make some modifications. The first one will be inside the backend. I have to paste this virtual.json file, and if I open it, you will find such code. The link to the source code is provided in the description, and you can download this file from there. After the virtual.json, go to the root directory, and inside the front end, you have to delete the pre-initialized git and copy the .gitignore file from here and paste it inside this root directory. Open the gitignore file, and inside here I have to mention the files that I don't want to upload on the GitHub repository, and those will be the node modules of our front end and that of our backend. Last but not the least, I want to exclude the .env file present in our backend because it contains some secret keys that I don't want to share publicly, and if you also have a .env in the front end, you can include it here, but I only have it in the backend, so that will be it. Save it and then close it. Right click on your folder and git bash here. If you don't have git installed, I highly recommend you install it because it is really helpful. The link to its installation is provided in the description. Check it out from there, and git init is what I write here to initialize our whole process of pushing this code to the GitHub repository. Very nice. And then git add dot to add all of our files. Now git commit -m, and here I'm gonna send the code with some message which will be initial commit. Click enter, and then modes will be created for each of our file. Now inside the GitHub repository, scroll down here, copy this link and paste it here. Click enter, write git push -u origin and mention the origin, which is master in our case. If you have main written here, you can write main master, and after some time our code will be uploaded. Refresh the repository, and there we can clearly see our newly uploaded code. Next step will be followed by searching for virtual.com/login, which will navigate us to this interface, and you have to click on the continue with GitHub option, and after providing your credentials it will navigate you to such an interface. To upload the server, you have to click on add new option here, and then the project. We can see all of our GitHub repositories listed here, but I only have to import the basic login one. Remember, this is our server, so I have to name it appropriately. So basic login API it is, and in the root directory option you have to click on edit, and then click on backend, continue, and provide the environment variables of your project if you have any, of course. I happen to have 2 of them which are inserted, and you have to click on deploy. It may take a while, but it will eventually be deployed. And if I visit this page, you can see the lovely message that I have sent for the user visiting it. Nice. So our backend is set up. Now it's time to set up the front end. Before deploying the front end, we have to make some changes inside it, and that's why we have opened its GitHub repository, and the front end folder is what we'll open right now, the source folder. And out in here you have to locate the files that have any HTTP requests sent to the database, and we have to mutate those requests. How? Let's see. For example, I have an HTTP request sent to the backend, so I'm gonna click open it, and down here we can clearly see that there is a request out here by axios.pod/login. So basically right now it is using a proxy to localhost 5000. That's why it is working during the development, but right now when I deploy it, it won't work. So I have to provide the whole of our backend URL here. So the backend URL is what you'll copy here, and then you're gonna click on this file and then paste the URL to the appropriate space, and right now it will be before the slash of the login, so that we have it. The extra slash will be removed, and now we have the URL of our backend pasted to the HTTP request. Nice. Repeat this process for similar files and you will be good to go from here. But don't forget to save it, commit change, and then click on commit change. I have done the same for the register out here. Now that we're done with the minor changes that has to be done in the front end, it's time to deploy it. The process required to deploy the front end are similar to that of the back end that we had just done. All you have to do is click on this button and project, and down here to your project. So this time this is the front end, so I'm gonna leave the name as it is, basic login. Sounds great. And the root directory will be this time the front end. Okay, continue. And there will be no environment variable, so I'm just gonna deploy it right away. It may take some seconds, but it will be deployed. And if I visit this page, the front end is displayed nicely, okay, and it looks like as if it would work, but it won't actually, because we have to make some changes further in the backend. And to make those changes, we have to click on backend, and from here click on index, and you have to paste some code inside here. So first I will click on this icon, and down here I have to pass a middleware of course. So basically I'm allowing our front end to send requests to the backend, so I have to mention the URL of the front end saying that this front end is allowed to send requests to the backend. Alright, and the origin I have left empty, so you have to paste the URL of your front end here. So the URL of the front end is copied and it is pasted here. Nice. Not to forget importing course too, and then commit change. After countless cross-origin errors and refreshes later, our front end would finally be integrated with our backend. So let's test it. If I click on sign in, this page will pop up, and let me jot down the credentials. And if I click on sign in, you see the request is sent to the backend and the result is achieved. So it is saying hello Craig, which is my name stored in the database.